those of you that know will realise that in actual fact, our it's like our realm or our reality has been covered over with some fake realities, and we've seen that a lot over the last few years in particular. We've probably noticed a lot more. I think 2020 was the best thing. The civid pandemic was probably the best thing that happened in a lot of ways for many of us, because it really gave us that push start. We already knew things were a bit not what we'd been told, but it really started something up. So we know we're living in an altered reality, let's call it that, something that's been taken over, so it seems, and covered over. So I think the prime reality, or the prime authentic blueprint, sits under or within the overlays of the deception. And so this is like a psychological game that's been overlaid for us to believe certain things and everything. So just even the advent of AI on the internet at the moment, it's always been there. The internet pretty much is AI, but it's been amped up. And so there are YouTube channels now that have been run only by AI, and there's no real people actually operating them, and people think they are real. So be aware of what you're looking at as so-called truth on Google, YouTube, the internet. Discernment is absolute key at the moment, because you could be taken right down a reality tunnel that looks nice and glossy and beautiful, but where are the humans, the mankind, the living men and women that are operating it? What do they look like? So just be aware of that at the moment, and knowing that there's a lot more tricks around than what there were previously. It's really amping up, and you can see or feel or sense that, maybe many of you who are sensitive, that is what's happening. So getting back to nature and getting back to self, and just having fun too, having a laugh at stuff. Now Lou's got some stuff to say about the compression of time.
Yeah, so I've just been sort of sensing, Heather and I have been discussing recently that time is seemingly getting to the point where it just seems to not exist. It's like you wake up in the morning, as I was saying earlier, you get up, you start your day with a good intent and all the rest of it, and you suddenly hit 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like, my God, where did the day go? I haven't done half of what I needed to do. Time has run away with us. And here's another concept that we've become very, very much aware of, and we've actually had this thought, and the team that I work with has brought it through many, many times, that time does not exist. It's a construct that was brought into our awareness many, many years ago and many lifetimes ago to control us, to segment us off into particles of the day or sectors of a day, instead of just being able to rise with the sun and then come into rest mode when it becomes darker, and then sleep when our bodies need to sleep. The rhythm of it's a circadic rhythm that we should do and should follow. But what I'm really sensing at the moment is that there is for many of us, a pressure that is compressing us. It is just, how can I put this? It's like we feel on every side, internally, externally, mentally, emotionally, there is this pressure that is coming, and it's like it's gonna break. It's going to break. But some of us are feeling that it's a break that we don't know. It's a break that we are not ready for. It's a break that, oh my God, if this happens, what's going to happen next? And what I'm sensing is, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what's happening, because if there is no time, then what is going to happen is the unfolding or the breaking of the eggshell of compression is a good thing, because it'll happen in perfect timing. All right, remember, the universe, the creator time is perfect timing. Our timing is the timing that is limited. Oh, it's got to be now. It's got to be now. It's got to do this. Da, 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 da. And we're the ones that actually put the pressure on ourselves to have everything done by a set time, by a set moment. All right. So allow yourself the freedom to realize that if we are, and again, I'm using the word if, maybe, perhaps, etc., to create for you the capacity to have knowledge that we could possibly be in an illusion, in a holographic way of living, that we have certain amount of control over what happens. Like, we can begin to speak over what it is, and we begin to dream our own dream. We awaken, awaken, O sleeper, become aware of what's going on. Rise from the dead. Why would we be told to awake, O sleeper, rise from the dead if we're living? Well, perhaps it's because we are so fast asleep, it's as if we are dead. We're not physically like dead, but we are so fast asleep that everything is happening around us and we're not consciously aware of it. And this is the pressure. It's waking us up. So the eggshell is going to break. Now, for each person, it's going to be a different type of awakening. It's going to be a different type of wake-up call. It's going to be a different type of eggshell breaking. But it's going to be what you need, what I need, what Heather needs, okay? It's never going to be the same for two people. And I want you to, or I would like you to take it easy on yourself. Stop pressurizing yourself that, oh my God, I didn't get this done. Oh my God, I didn't get that done. Because if you can step back from that pressure, that construct of the entirety of being constricted by the pressure that's building around us, if you can step back from that and look at it as you are not being pressured. You don't have to pressure yourself, and that pressure belongs to somebody else. And so literally you can say, this is not my pressure. This is not my construct. This is not what I've created for myself. So it's got to go back to wherever it has come from. Now, for some of us in a work scenario, you could be told, there's a deadline. You have to have it done by this time. And so the pressure is not coming from you. It's coming from above. It's coming from other people, and it's being forced or drip fed down upon you. So you can actually turn around and say, not mine. I'll get the work done. I'll get it done when I know it needs to be done by, but I'm not going to take the pressure. And what that does is it relieves your consciousness, it relieves your energy, it relieves your body, it relieves your mind of a illusion that there is no time, that it needs to be done now. All right. So yes, there may be, because you've contracted to do something from in a certain time limit of the making that you have agreed to, there is that. But if you honor that, there's no pressure. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like when you buy into the fact that your boss or your friend or your whoever is out there saying, oh my God, we're running out of time. Don't you feel it? Then if you start buying into that, then you are buying into the pressure. You're buying into the constriction. But when you can step back and say, not mine. I can observe this. I can look at what's happening and know and be observant and be aware, but I don't have to tap into that drama, that particular way of being. What it does for you is it sets you on a paradigm shift of a frequency change. And this is what's happening at the moment. There is a huge frequency change that is literally, the way that I perceive it, the way that it's been happening for me, is that when this frequency change comes in, it's looking for receptors in my energy that align with the frequency of release, that align with that frequency of letting go. Alternatively, that frequency will also tap into and connect into the pressure receptors, the fearful receptors, etc., etc. So we have to take charge. We have to take cognizant realization of what we are speaking over ourselves, what we are allowing into our energy, and we then begin to set ourselves free by the mere fact that we begin to disconnect and we begin to cut away from the illusion of pressure, the illusion of time, the illusion of being under the control of other circumstances and things that are put upon us by well-meaning employers, well-meaning family members, well-meaning friends. You've got to do this in a certain amount of time. It's time. What is time, people? What is time? Time, again, I'm going to say this. Yes, we've been given 60 seconds, a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. We've got 12 hours in the daylight. We've got 12 hours in the nighttime. We've got 24 hours in a day. But all of this has come about to segment what we do with our own free choice, what we do with our free existence in this realm. You see, we were never meant to be chained to a clock. We were never meant to be chained to a time system or a day system. We were never meant for that. Was never meant for us. Yes, there were markers in the heavens which told us, like the solstice, etc., etc., and that told us harvest time. It told us to sow, to reap, to all these different things to prepare ourselves for the different times of the year. Winter's, autumn, etc., etc. But they were the markers. They were the only things that we would be able to, that we would use to prepare ourselves. And we were in sync with what was happening in our realm on our earth. And what began to happen was people went even further than that. The controllers went, no, we've got to actually own every daylight moment, every nighttime moment. And we've got to get them, i.e. you and I, to buy into the fact that we have only got a limited amount. And again, this limit comes in to detract us from the fact that we are immortal. We are a living being that exists for immortality. We're just trapped in a physical body at this time. And what's happened is we've been told after incarnation and incarnation and incarnation, you're limited, you're just mortal. It's your mortal body, your mortal clogs. When you pop your mortal clogs, okay? It's time and time again, it's been compounded into us that we're here for a limited time, that you're a limited being, that you're only here for 70 plus years. If you make it to 100 or 120, wow, my God, that's so special. No, you are an immortal being. This fleshly thing, yeah, so what if it pops its cog in 70, 80, 90, 100 years? Who cares? It's not what is important. What's important is the inward being, the immortal being. And that's what needs to realize. You need to wake that up into the consciousness. And that is what steps away from the construct. That is what makes you realize that this is a time of release, a time of letting go of what others are putting on us in the way of constructing or constricting time constraints, of pressure, of things that are going to make us pop emotionally, mentally, etc., because everything is just so fucking hard to get through, when in reality, if we stop, did you feel it? Did you feel it? And I deliberately did that. I got my voice to start to pressure. It's got the excitement. I got the intensity of my voice. Go, build. And then I stopped. And what did you feel in that moment? It was like, oh. And that's what your eternal immortal soul wants you to do. It wants you to breathe, but breathe not just and meditation. And I'm not mocking that because I do it, okay? I do meditation, I do my quiet time. But it wants you to go into deep connection with it. Wants you to reawaken the immortal part of you so that you are becoming aware that you are the sleeper and you are so fucking fast asleep that you are like the dead. Now, please, I know you're awake. You wouldn't be on this channel if you weren't, okay? But there's a part of you that is asleep. So fast asleep that it's as if you are dead. And that is the immortal part of you. You see, you can be awake consciously in your mental realm and in your heart space, and yes, you've got all of that going, but do you know you're immortal? Do you know that if your physical body dropped dead right now, the immortal part of you would continue on into its next journey and probably be better, in a better place? Now, I'm not saying that we all need to drop the mortal body, okay? Because a lot of us have got things to do in this timeline, in this sector of where we are in this realm, and it is important to be here. But imagine this. Imagine if you were aware of the immortal part of your body, the immortal part of your soul, the immortal part of your connection to the divine creator, God, universe, source. You put that relevant name there, okay? But the immortal connection to the divinity of you and the divinity of the creator. And then you connect that with your heart space and your heart that is already awakened, and your consciousness that is beginning to grow, and you suddenly realize, OMG, I'm more than just a frigging two-legged biped that's walking on this property of Earth. I'm more than that. I am a co-creator. A co-creator with the creator. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? For you, not for me. I am discovering what that means. I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm sharing from my heart. I'm sharing with you that this construct around us that is compressing us, that is pushing down on us, that is wanting to break us, it's wanting to be the last straw on the camel's back that bang breaks our emotional, our mental, our physical backs, that breaks our will to go on, that makes us just one of the many numbers that just goes, I give up, I just can't cope anymore. Okay? That construct is pushing down, and we have the answer within us if we would only wake up. Awake, O sleeper, and rise from the dead. Allow yourself to come into that recognition that you are immortal, and you happen, perchance, in this incarnation to be in the realm known as Earth, as Terra. And perchance you are in a physical body, a biped, a human. But you may also be of a star connection in the other realms that are parallel to us, not going up. I don't believe you go up into space. That's my perception. I believe there are realms that are side by side, and our realms co-connect, and we travel backwards and forwards between those realms, and we can connect into this. And you do have Lyran and Palladian and all these other things, and yes, other people may say that's a load of hogwash. Power be to you. Bless you. If that is your belief, great, go for it. I respect it. Not everybody believes in the galactic connection, all right? I'm a bit dubious about the Galactic Federation, but then that is my perception. Yes, I've brought messages through from various sectors of the Galactic Federation, but I have a different concept of that. And this isn't the time to go into that, because I'm talking about the pressure, the perceived pressure from the perceived time that we're in, where everything is being told, time is running out. And in a manner of speaking, it is, because we are at the brink of a great reset. This reset is to really turn up the pressure for us, the heat, to allow us to come into a place where we are the immortal beings in charge, in control of who we are. We are not led by the nose by other people's concepts and by other people's perspectives and perceptions and rules and laws, etc., etc. It is time that the immortals among us woke up, stood up, and began to act and began to live as immortal beings, which means being in your intuition, in your honor, in your dignity, in your compassion, in your empathy, in your creativity. All of these are important. And you also need to realize, and I say this very, very sincerely, that you need to look after you. You need to clear your energy. You need to take space for you. You need to put other people at an arm's length at time and say, no, I can't do that. I need to heal. I need to clear my own energy. I need to look after this. I need to heal. I need to calibrate. I need to come back into alignment before I can help you, before I can assist you. And remember, by assisting and helping other people, it's not jumping into their mess. Don't do that. Throw them a lifeline. Say, hey, look, I empathize where you're at, but I'm not getting in there with you. I'm not getting into the Maya pool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you a lifeline. I'm going to throw you a life ring. I'm going to throw you this. I'm going to throw you that. Use it like this. Use it like this. Explain what needs to happen. Give them the advice. Be there for them. Support them. But don't, whatever you do, get into the shit mire that they're in, because they will pull you down and they will drown you with them. Because that's our nature, people. That is the nature of humanity at times. We are so compassionate with people that we forget that when we jump in there to be with them, to help them, to support them, that we become overwhelmed with their problem as well as our own problems and what we're dealing with, and we become inactive. We become drowned. And then we have to literally take ourselves so far back from contact and from other people and our family and friends, etc., so we can fix ourselves. So now we have to learn to be empathy. We have got to have empathy, and we've got to have the realization that we can be empathetic to somebody. We can stand on the sidelines. We can help. We can give them the helping hand. We can throw them the tools that need to be used to get them out of the situation. But here's the kicker, guys. If they're not going to do it for themselves, they want you to do it for them. They don't want to be helped. Leave them. And I know that's cruel in some ways, but that's your intuition kicking in and saying, I've given them advice, I've given them the books, I've given them the directives, I've given them the actual physical how to do this, I've shown them how to do it, and they're not doing it. They want me to spoon feed them. I'm not going to get in there. If they're not willing to do it themselves, are they willing to do it at all? That's a question you have to ask yourself. And this is going to become more and more evident as we move on in this time. Exactly, Lynn. You can lead someone or something to water, but you can't force them to drink, okay? And you've got to realize, we have to realize that we have to come from a position of, I am first and foremost healing and saving myself. And how do you save yourself? It's not you go save this physical body. Forget the physical body. You've got to save the immortal part. That immortal soul within. You have to wake that up. You have to reignite that. And we can, I think what I can do maybe is we can do another talk on of awakening into yourself. Awakening the immortal part of you. But I think I've given you quite a bit to listen to today. And if you've only just come on, I'm really glad you're here. But I really would encourage you to go to the beginning of this session, of this particular live, and listen to the whole thing. Because we are in such amazing times. The construct is literally cracking in front of us. And whatever you believe that we're in Earth, we're in a planet, we're on a globe, we're on a flat Earth, we're in a computer program, we're in an illusion, we're in whatever your personal belief is on that, it is coming to a cracking stop. There are things that are going to happen in the next decade or so that are really going to make people sit up and go, what the fuck? And then they're going to turn around and they're going to say, those people I laughed at were onto something. We may not be right, but we may be on the right path. Does that make sense to you? Everything we think and perceive as at the moment may not be exactly what's going to happen, but it's very definitely in the right direction. And so I encourage you to remember that although things are being pressured at the moment and constricted, and it feels like you're being compressed into a little nutshell and you're going to pop, I want you to just take a step back, step out of it, step back, look at it and go, is this mine? Or is it come from someone else? Does it come from something else? And then turn around and look at yourself and go, if it's not mine, I don't have to buy into it. Take a breath. And then look at what you're creating. What is it that you need to do? And do it with the freedom of mind that you are the only one that is putting pressure on you. And you can lift that pressure all the time. You can lift it at any time. Set yourself a place of being. One of the great things that the team that I work with, that Safita said to me, he said, do you realize that, yes, your morning starts when you wake up, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, whenever you get out of bed, all right? And things can go from shit to worse. He says, your day can start any time. All you need to do is stop, pause, and sometimes go back to the bedroom, get back on the bed, close your eyes, and then enact the process of waking up again, put your feet back on the ground and say, good morning, everybody, and start your day again, and you can have the best day out. Am I right, Heather?
Absolutely right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish with that. You can take over.
Well, probably that's about it. That was brilliant. Thank you very much, Lou. That was great. Very succinct. I knew you had something in your heart and in your energy, so I just let you go for it. That was just beautiful. So I'm going to do a little bit of a plug here for Lou. Her books are on her website, Louise Rees, REISS-James.com. Her Lyran Books are brilliant and will help you through this time, especially if you like to know a little bit about how we ended up in the sort of space we're in on this realm at the moment. And also, if you want a personal reading with Lou, okay, I'm going to do a plug. We don't normally do this. If you want a personal reading with Lou, with her crystal cubes, and the crystal cubes are just an amplifier of your own energy, okay? Personal message us, direct message us, PM us, let us know, and we'll book you in. Okay,
Absolutely.
Guys? So, yeah, have a great day, evening, night, or morning, wherever you are. And the thing is, too, when you pop through and pop free, know that you've always been free, but we've been overlaid with all sorts of rubbish from birth and probably even in the womb and beyond. And so just allow yourself to be in that freedom. Okay, I can't top what Lou said, what she brought through from her own oracle self. So I'm just going to let it go now. And thank you very much for being a part of our tribe, and share this around. We love you.
Oh, and just, I know this is very sort of human now, but to the people there that has gave me a shout out for my hair and all the rest of it, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've been struggling with the concept of it, and I've just been letting go.
She's got great hair.
I've just let it go recently, and I've just said whatever will be, will be. So thank you so much for that. It's really touched my heart that it's that people have noticed. Okay.
Okay. Love you all. Bye. Namaste.